Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's a sexual act that looks fun but is actually disappointing? Hammock sex. We thought it would be sensual, rhythmic, and tropical. It's really just like being two dolphins awkwardly trapped in tuna net. Here's the trick to hammock sex. Needs to be strung up so it's waist high for the guy whether he's standing or on his knees. Girl lays in the hammock perpendicular. Bam! Outdoor sex swing. This guy fucks near sand. Two dolphins trapped in a tuna net. Good night, you win. Sex in a wet environment. Car sex is hit or miss but is usually not very good. Car sex. Can attest to the disappointment. Especially when you're both pretty tall. Even in a full-sized sedan. It's pretty cramped and both of us hit our heads on the door and ceiling. Plus, once time, we didn't clean up as well as we'd thought. We're driving with one of our friends in the back. And he casually observes that it's just me and the used condom back here. That friend is pretty funny. Man, I thought a threesome would spice things up. But instead of a wild night to remember, it turned into a plot twist I didn't see coming. My wife ended up leaving me for the other woman. Ross, lol, did you make a sandwich? I've always had a fantasy about being with my wife and another woman, but that's something that will stay a fantasy. I have heard far too many horror stories of threesomes absolutely nuking relationships and marriages. It sounds hot until shit hits the fan and by then it may not be salvageable. Yes, this is no doubt very wise. But there are exceptions to every rule and sometimes you just get lucky. When I was a young fella back in the wild early 90s, my girlfriend and I were working a season in a tourist resort and had an ongoing threesome with an Aussie girl who was also our coworker, so I guess all the rules broken. We had an awesome time for several months, then my girlfriend and I headed off at the end of the season. Everybody happy and no hurt feelings. We were together for years after with nothing but fond memories. As a TMI aside, I learned to be a lot more humble about my oral skills during this experience that girl could get my GF off in quarter the time that I did, and at response decibels that I never matched smirk. There is something to be said about intention when it comes to bringing in others. Are you having a threesome to spice up your marriage? Where all parties are enthusiastic about it. Clear boundaries are set and understood and honest. Open communication has been provided through the making of a safe space. You'll be fine. Trying to save a relationship by fulfilling a fantasy and go into it without much thought or planning. Sorry, might not be the best fit. At least that has been my and my partner's experience so far. My wife sitting on my face. It's fun and I love it. But it's disappointing because she was given specific instructions to let me die under there and I'm still very much alive. How do you prepare for face-hitting situations as a guy? Ensure your dental records are easily found so they can identify the body by your smile. Make peace with your God, and prepare for the afterlife. Then enter into battle. Coworker sex. The sexual tension is high, oh yeah boy better believe it. But once you nut, hot damn, the unemployment line is gonna be looking saucy. I would NT screw my coworker while on the clock, but in my experience coworker sex after hours has been great. My marriage started as coworker sex. Anything involving food. Happy cake DA. Oh no, you can't make this shit up. The standing 69, just leave that shit to the porn stars. It's a nightmare. You're standing there fumble fucking around trying not fall over and injure one another the entire time, so there's really nothing fun about it. The trick is for the woman to stand and the man to be upside down. The penis in the mouth can be used like a hook to increase stability. No need to thank me smiley face. I would never in a million years put my penis into this situation. I'm too much of an Undertaker fan to not follow through on the tombstone piledriver. Whipped cream, honey, pretty much anything involving food. Except for a thick pastrami sandwich. That makes for a good mid-coital recharge. I've always found pastrami to be the most sensual of the cured meats. I'm not suggesting getting rid of the girl. She's integral. Sex in a pool. Any body of water, including the ocean and shower. Water is not lube. Lol. Jacuzzi is worse. I legit almost passed out from the heat. Saw stars and had to take it to the bed. Back in high school I was staying with my GF and her family at their lake house. We did it in the hot tub. I pulled out and learned jizz floats and is super noticeable in clear water. Didn't know how to drain it, so I spent half the night emptying it with buckets. FML. On the beach. Seems romantic. Sand gets everywhere. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. When you just want to nut on the beach but you end up slaughtering a bunch of kids. It's not really an answer to your question, but missionary is the best position IMO. She gets clitoral stimulation, and there's lots of skin-to-skin contact and you can kiss while you're mid-sex. It's like a long hug while having sex. Bonus points if she is rubbing your back or the back of your head while doing it. Missionary is underrated. Missionary is also great for holding your partner down. Consensually, of course. Best is when she's flexible and you can get her ankles behind her head. Missionary is only boring if you don't like the sight of each other lol. Strip clubs and lap dance. It's basically just blue balling yourself. There is no sex in the champagne room. It really depends on the strip club, TBH. I also have zero interest in getting a boner with random other dudes all staring at the same woman. The same woman who absolutely fucking hates you.